Have you guys ever been bullied by seniors? Yeah, I don't know what your response was, so I can't answer. But if we talk about me, oh, I almost was. You'll see what I mean in this video. So, from very early on, my classmates were clear about one fact that I'm not someone who entertains other people's tantrums. Please don't associate this with those "Ooh, I'm so alpha" type videos. I just don't have a better wording for it. Okay, back to the topic. But to others, I was just a soft spoken kid who really spoke. So, one not so fine day, our class teacher in 4th grade decided to make a seating chart, to separate everybody from their friends and to ensure that there is silence in the class. And I was paired with this one girl whose name I won't say, so let's call her Gumdrop for no reason. I'm just bad at fake naming. So, Gumdrop looked really excited from this pair up, which made me feel like, oh, I think I'll be good friends with her. Because at that time, I just knew that she was my classmate, but could not say if we were friends or not. Then Gumdrop proceeds to sit with me for the whole period. But the plot twist came when our class teacher's lecture ended. And so Gumdrop turns to me and says, I don't want to sit with you. To be honest, I was caught completely off guard. So I asked her what she meant, just in case I misheard or something. Then she proceeded to explain, I sat with you during this period because I had to, but I wanna sit with my best friends. To which I was like, okay, sure, I get it, no problem. Then she said, so I'll go to them now and I'll come back in the next period and then go back afterwards. Now I was confused and asked, what do you mean and why not just sit with them? To which she replies, oh, I don't want to go against the teacher's planning. So I'll sit with you in the odd periods like the 1st, 3rd, 5th and so on. And I'll sit with my friends in the even ones like the 2nd, 4th, 6th, etc. To make the teacher believe I'm sitting with you, which I technically am for half the day. And I'll get to be with my friends for another half. So it will be 50-50. Like, girly pop. Go to them. I don't care. So proceeding with this method, she picked her stuff and went on to go sit with the friends and then came back the next period. And this went on for like 3-4 days. But the main problem was that whensoever she had to leave, she wouldn't care if I was still doing something. Like I would still be writing down stuff from the board or completing my notes. The moment the bell rang and the teacher left, she would start pushing me to move so that she could leave or start asking me to help her carry her stuff. And if I objected, she would be like, oh, you're so mean, you don't even want to help me. Eventually, I had to give in, but I made it very clear to her that this setup was disturbing me. And obviously, she did not care. By then, I was so fed up with this, but I decided to give it one more try and talk to her. But she wasn't budging. So when she decided to sit with her friends in the 4th period, I decided not to let her come back until she agreed to consider my situation as well. We had a break after the 4th lecture, and when she tried to sit with me, I decided to place my bag on her side and wouldn't move. I told her how this setup was disturbing me a lot and I'll only let her come back if she agrees to my terms as well. She was really stubborn and went on to threaten me that if I wouldn't let her come back, then she'll call her big brothers, which I did not know she had. Now, the thing about me is that if someone threatens me, I double down. So I was like, oh, let them come and see how you've been such a nuisance for me. And then she went and called them. And now we had these 3 guys in our class trying to threaten me with, we'll tell the teacher how you are treating our sister. Which is pretty dumb because obviously the teacher would rather ask why she was switching seats. I didn't really care about them. I was rather stressed that they were going to take my whole lunch break and I had to eat. I was starving at that point. So I took my lunchbox out of my bag and started eating. They tried to interrupt me by mocking me about it and how I was being so disrespectful. I replied that they didn't act like they deserved to be respected, so it was okay. Then they continued with more threats about how they'll make sure that the senior kids will be way more strict with me and how school will be a difficult place for me in the future. Now at this point, I was so tired of this idiotic behavior and said, I can tell the teacher all this and get you all punished, right? And it's not the seniors who control my whole day here. I'm mostly in the class or at the ground, so it really doesn't matter how they act with me. In my mind, I'm like, is everybody in their house like this? We continued arguing like this for like 10 minutes, and in the end, they went to discuss something. They went like a few benches away, but I could still hear them. They talked within themselves for a minute or so, and then one of them said, I don't know, she seems really mean and scary. Weren't we supposed to be like that for her? Chat. That right there was my ego boost, and I knew that I could not let them win now. When they came back and sat in front of me, I was ready for another round. But instead, they asked me what I wanted in order for her to sit back with me. I was shocked that they had the ability to ask me what I wanted all this time. So I told them how she's been behaving with me and how all this is affecting my studies as well. And they actually listened. Then they told her to take my situation under consideration as well and not just care about herself. Gumdrop then proceeded to agree to it, and then she apologized for her behavior, which was all I wanted. But then she somehow decided to stick with me as her deskmate, and she actually stayed for how so long ever that sitting chat was for. And surprisingly, we did become good friends. But the next year she had to move, so I don't know where she is now or how she's doing, but I hope she's well. Howdy, citizens! Hope you all have been doing well. If you remember my previous video, you can connect the dots. I feel like it's important to take a stand for yourself and not just let others ignore your feelings. I was able to handle this situation because I knew that if I can't agree to my own terms, then no one else will. But have you guys faced such situations but couldn't really find a solution? I hope not, because that would have been dramatic. If you guys wanna have any suggestions, just comment down below and I'll try my best to help you all. Subscribe to officially be a part of Yappanation if you're not. Like this video and share it with someone who maybe needs this small push. Till next time, bye!